to introduce my man.
Hey, what's happening, YouTube? It's your boy CJ once again, aka Staff Sergeant Deloach, back with another episode of Getting to Greatness. Today I'm gonna do a quick question and answer some things that people have been asking me about being a drill sergeant. And today's your lucky day because I was a drill sergeant. Once a drill sergeant, always a drill sergeant though. Hey, this will defend. You can see here I got my drill sergeant hat. This is my plaque that is mounted up. My boy Drill Sergeant Wilson made this for me as my going away present once I came to into my time on the trail. The trail is what we call the drill sergeant duty time, and yeah, I really appreciate that. He hooked me up, and I really like it. One of my most prized possessions. One day when I get my own office again, I will have it in my office so I can use it for decoration. Just something I'm proud of. All right, so today's special episode, again, it's going to be a question and answer. I'm sure you've seen it in the title already about what a drill sergeant is or what a drill sergeant can do. These are questions that people have asked me. I want to keep it down to 5 questions because this could literally go on forever. If you guys have more specific questions at the end of this video, leave me questions in the comment blocks down below, and then I'll hit you guys back, and you can... and then I'll do another video and then I'll answer those questions instead of making this really long drawn out. Some of you probably don't care. Some of you might care. Hopefully you do care so that way you watch my video and then you'll come back. Before we get any further along in the video, go ahead and click down below, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to like, and then again, comment any questions or whatnot that you might have about being a drill sergeant and then things you want to hear or see. All right, so question number 1. When and where were you a drill sergeant? So I started drill sergeant duty, technically I started in November 2012, but I was what they call a turtle. So when you're a turtle, when you're stationed overseas, they send you to your duty station first. I was a drill sergeant at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. So I got there in March of 2012 as a turtle, drill sergeant candidate. And I shadowed drill sergeants. I did everything a drill sergeant could do, basically. You can't really be alone with the trainees and whatnot. So other than that, I did everything else. I went to training with them. I did PT with them. And I just basically learned the ropes about how to be a drill sergeant and what I could and couldn't do. A lot of good, excellent drill sergeant battles when I was a turtle. Drill sergeant Watkins, drill sergeant Soto, drill sergeant Atchison, just to name a few that helped me along the way. Drill sergeant Williams, my boy Will. Hey, you guys helped me along the way to teach me what and what not to do as a drill sergeant, so that when I did go to drill sergeant school and come back with the hat, I was ready to get busy and do what I needed to do. And so I came off the trail though in November of 2014. So drill sergeant duty is normally 2 years. Like I said, I spent a little bit of extra time there because of my time as a drill sergeant candidate, as we call it, a turtle, before I went to drill sergeant school. And it was some of the best 2 years I had in the Army. All right, question number 2. What was drill sergeant school like? So for me, drill sergeant school was pretty good. Like I said, I told you guys already, I spent a lot of time as a drill sergeant candidate. So I was there already in the environment for a while before. I kind of knew what to expect. And I had plenty of time to get myself in good physical condition. And like I said, I was able to shadow a lot of excellent drill sergeants. So I learned a lot from those guys from the beginning. So when I look back on drill sergeant school, for me, it was kind of fun. I really enjoyed it. When I first got there, I didn't know any of my modules, even though they say you're supposed to learn them before you get there. But my roommate, when we were checking in processing, he's out of the Army now, Sergeant Wren. He was my roommate, and he knew all 3 of the first ones. So I was really nervous about not knowing them because I didn't want to not do it. Within that first couple of days before we even got ready to actually in process, before we finished in processing, basically, I learned how to pitch those first 3 modules, which helped me out because I ended up getting tickets to the Gamecocks game because of that. During my time there at drill sergeant school, we ran a lot. They PT'd us a lot, so that was a really big thing. But I learned a lot. I learned a lot about how to be a professional non-commissioned officer and how to make sure we maintain the standards and discipline. As far as our skill level 1 tasks, those are things that were just refreshers, and we learned how to teach and master those things while we were at drill sergeant school. It's just as long as basic training, so you're there for almost 9 weeks, and almost a little bit more than 9 weeks actually if you include the graduation week and whatnot, and the in-processing week. And just make sure you're physically fit and things like that, and study a little bit. All right, question number 3. What is your favorite phase? All right, so throughout basic training, there's several phases. In the actual basic training portion, you have red phase, white phase, and blue phase. Red phase is the initial entry phase. First couple weeks, first 3 weeks, basically of training out of the 9 weeks. And in those first 3 weeks, you're basically you're going to do a culture shock. So you're getting the trainees used to being in that environment, the initial IET environment. came and talk a little bit. But in an IET environment, you're getting them used to that culture shock. So it's total control. A lot of people think that would be my favorite phase, but the next phase you have is white phase, where you kind of relax in the sense a little bit. You keep maintaining standards and discipline, but the trainees get a little bit more leeway, i.e. we have to teach them to be more independent, but we also go to the range and you get to qualify, you shoot your weapon and whatnot. And then in blue phase, that's when we go to the field and stuff, and we're out, staying out in the field. And we get that one-on-one mentorship as far as being able to teach the smaller groups. So for me, as the MP drill sergeant, we taught OSIT. So we have also gold phase and black phase. Black phase comes after blue phase. That's an AIT environment. Pretty much we're taking them to class and we can teach them even more things that's MOS specific, more specific to just being an MP and whatnot. And then gold phase, we go back to the field again, back when I was a drill sergeant, and then they graduate basic training after 20 weeks. As MPs, like, it's not 9 weeks, it's actually 20 weeks. So for me, I think my favorite phase would probably, I know everybody's going to think that, just because I went 50-150 all the time back then, that red phase was my favorite phase, but it really wasn't. I really enjoyed the blue phase and the black phase, where I could actually get that more hands-on time and teach and train my soldiers. Imparting the knowledge on the next generation of MPs was more important to me than just yelling and screaming and trying to do those things. The discipline's going to come if you maintain a good standard, I think. And so for me, it was more important for me to hands-on time, that one-on-one time, and teach and train those soldiers the way they're supposed to be. Number 4, what is your most memorable moment? So my most memorable moment will probably be the graduation of, I think, my second or third cycle, spring of 2013. I was in Bravo Company. So my first cycle in Bravo Company, I won Drill Sergeant of the Cycle. I got this little trophy right here. As you can see, Drill Sergeant Deloach, Drill Sergeant of the Cycle, class 11-13. We graduated there in the spring of that 2013. It was my most memorable time. In that graduation ceremony, I sang the national anthem. The soldiers wanted me to sing the national anthem. I got to call cadence and have them come in. They were loud and proud, and they just pumped me up. They motivated me so much. It's something I'll never forget. That was one of my favorite classes, in a sense that, like I said, not just because I won Drill Sergeant of the Cycle, but because the things they did helped mold me into the kind of drill sergeant that I wanted to be. And I was more prepared for the cycles after that, in order how to do it the right way, and then to maintain a certain, just to be myself, but at the same time, do it the right way. All right, so the last and final question, what is my favorite cadence? So I think that I was pretty good at calling cadence when I was a drill sergeant, and marching the soldiers around and whatnot. It used to pump me up. I would feed off their energy. So they say I was good at calling cadence, but I was only good at calling cadence because whenever I was out there leading those soldiers, you have 200 smoker jokers, I used to call them, out there singing loud and proud, and they're motivated. It just pumps you up. You could be dog tired, which I was a lot of times while I was a drill sergeant. You don't get very much sleep. I mean, you're literally there. You're there before they wake up at 4:30 in the morning, and then you put them to bed at night at 20:30 or 8:30 at night. So you're dog tired all the time. But if those jokers are loud and motivated, it pumps you up. So for me, I think my favorite cadence, and the one that was most requested, was probably Drill Sergeant from Hell. I'll give you guys like a few seconds of it. It starts out, up jumps the sergeant from the coconut grove. It was a mean drill sergeant, you could tell by his clothes. He wore a wide-brimmed hat and a set of ACOs. We got OCPs now. Hey, also shout out to my boy Fryer. He kind of introduced me to that cadence. I remember the first time he called it, and we just started molding it and making it ourselves. And my boy Drill Sergeant Jinx. You guys made my time on the trail memorable. Oh, I forgot. So memorable moments. Backtrack. Number 4. Back to most memorable moments. When I was at Delta Company, Delta 787 as a drill sergeant, I never forget, we were at the TVT course, a tactical vehicle course, and it had snowed. There was snow and ice all over the ground everywhere, and we were out walking. I had been to the TVT course when I was a turtle, so I was showing those other two who had never been to the TVT course around. And while I'm walking the snow-covered patch, I'm walking, and I fell through ice. I broke through the ice. I just broke through the ice, and then I got covered in mud. I was knee-deep in mud. My arms up to my elbows was covered in mud, and it was freezing cold. And so, like, those jokers, they took off running because I gave them that look like I was going to get them. That's something I will never forget. That's probably been my second most memorable moment on the trail, because, yeah, it was crazy then. I wanted to grab one of them and get them wet and muddy with me. But luckily, they were good battle buddies. And they were like, hey, just go back, get some more clothes, get dressed, and then come back out. And then we came back. Once I came back and I went back to the rear, changed uniforms, got a shower real quick, and went back out and pushed Joe. We trained the soldiers, made sure everything was good to go. But yeah, hey, so that was the most memorable moment. Hey, again, I hope you guys enjoyed this question and answer. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe, like and comment this video. Like again, if you have more questions, which I'm glad to do, so ask me down in the comment section below any questions that you might have, and then I'll see if I can make another video for you guys. Again, whatever you do, make sure you do it the right way. Do things that'll make you happy every single day. Do something to make you happy. If you can help someone else, help them. Those are the keys to getting to greatness. All right, back again. See you next time. Peace.
I like to introduce my man.